Kylie Jenner has the brand Kai.
Very suspicious of the latest Kai drop. The second she posted those studded like workwear,
I just don't understand it. Like,
She just deleted everything, every single post, gone, and then replaced it with something that looked like it was made at a Ross clearance section. Kylie Jenner built her entire brand on being the girl with taste, and this week she proved she has no idea who her audience is anymore. Okay, so you guys, I need you to stay with me on this one because this is so much bigger than just a bad collection drop. Because I have been going back through every single Kylie brand launch. All of them. Swim, Skin, Baby, Kai, Sprinter. And I found something that I genuinely cannot stop thinking about. There is a pattern here, a very specific, very deliberate pattern. And once I show it to you, you're going to see it everywhere. But here's what's wild. Kylie just wiped the entire Kai Instagram. Every post, every collection, every campaign, gone in one day, and then replaced it with a rebrand that is charging $120 for a plain t-shirt, $80 for a tank top, a $300 belt, for a brand she originally created because designer prices were too high for everyday people. I'm sorry, but that contradiction alone should have everyone talking. And the comments? You guys, the comments are unhinged. People are losing it. But there's one thing buried in this launch that nobody is covering. Something specific that happened with the sizing that made me genuinely stop and go, wait, is she doing this on purpose? We're getting into all of it, but first, the part that started this whole mess. So, let's rewind for a second. About 3 years ago, Kylie decides she wants back in on fashion, and she announces Kai. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about Kylie Swim, which, if you blocked it from your memory, launched, fell apart almost immediately, and is best remembered for bathing suits that were see-through, made for approximately one body type, and priced like they were hand-stitched by royalty, for what appeared to be Shein rejects. So when Kai got announced, expectations were basically underground. Like, people had already buried the body. Kai actually had a concept, a real one. The idea was to collaborate with designers she personally loved and make their aesthetic more accessible. Every drop with a new designer. A rotating, curated, affordable luxury situation. On paper, that's actually a decent idea. So why did it not work? Because somewhere between the concept and the execution, something shifted. Prices that were supposed to cap around $200 started creeping up to $400 and above. The collaborations with actual designers got inconsistent. Some collections had them, some didn't. The aesthetic went from fur coats to sweats to puffer jackets to tees, all over a very short period of time. There was no through line, no identity. And critically, the only people I ever heard talking about Kai were influencers who had literally been gifted the stuff for free. That's not organic, that's just expensive PR.
very suspicious of the latest Kai drop. The second she posted those studded like workwear jeans, I was like, I need those. They launched yesterday morning, didn't go on until the afternoon. And when I did, all of the big sizes were sold out. Everything was in stock from a size small to extra large, but then like the 1X, 2X, 3X, 4X all said sold out. And I was like, no. But then I was like, okay, let me see what else they have in stock. And every product I clicked on, it was in stock in the straight sizes and out of stock in plus sizes. And I had talked about this in a podcast episode previously, but I feel like brands sometimes say that the extended sizes are out of stock when really they just are never stocking them in the first place. I'm like, okay, that's very interesting. Either curvy girls know that Kai usually carries up to a 4X in cool stuff, so they bought all the sizes, or Kai never stocked them. Say what you want about the Kardashians, but they have always come through with cool clothes for like mid-size and plus size girls. And if they're not making those clothes anymore, oh, things are bad. Let me know what you think. Did anyone get anything in a 1X or 2X, 3X, 4X? Like, what is going on?
A few weeks ago, Kylie wipes the entire Kai Instagram. Every single post, every collection, everything gone. And in its place, she drops one image, captioned, "Born in LA, she's relaunching, full rebrand, new vision." And I'm sorry, but the second you see the words "born in LA, you already know what's coming. You know those prices are about to require a payment plan. She starts teasing the new collection. Denim made from American cone denim finished in LA, studded pants where allegedly every single stone was placed by hand. And okay, I can respect the craftsmanship pitch. That's a real angle. But the comments under those sneak peek posts, brutal. Like, people hadn't even seen the price yet, and they were already writing things like, these look like something from Aeropostale circa 2012. This gives dollar store rhinestones. There is zero creativity here. And then the prices dropped. $80 for a tank top, a basic tank top. I need you to think about that for a second. That is an item you can buy at Old Navy for $5. I'm not exaggerating. I literally own 7 of them. $330 for the studded jeans, $350 for the jean jacket, $120 for a plain t-shirt with Kai printed on the front. Am I the only one seeing this? Because at some point, this stops being a pricing strategy and starts being a social experiment.
Kylie Jenner has the brand Kai, and it's a clothing brand, and they have, since they launched, they had plus sizes, so they went up to a 4X in their clothing. So I've been on their PR list. They've sent me multiple drops, and I always say yes, knowing that they're going to carry my size of clothing. So they've emailed like 3 times now in the last like month asking for my size. I gave them my updated sizing. I'm a 3X. I'm assuming they're going to have my size for whatever drop they're sending. So a package comes in the mail yesterday, and I think I was like rebranding because their website was down. Like, it was like you couldn't shop on it. But I get the package, and inside it's like these capri sweatpants and a zip-up hoodie. And I'm like, wait, this is so cute. Then I check the sizing, and it says extra large. I'm like, that's so weird. Why would they send me an extra large if they know that I'm a 3X, right? But I know that this is like not a mistake. I'm like, wait, I bet they're not making their new drops and plus sizes. And they just like sent me whatever the biggest size was of whatever the PR package was they're sending to everybody. And they're just like, you're the XL, like it's the biggest size that we're having. But I was like, I'm just going to wait till they drop the product to see, because maybe it was a mistake. Maybe they sent me the wrong size. So the product goes live on the site today. And literally right after they dropped, the sweat set says that it goes to a 4X, which is their typical, or like used to be their typical sizing. But it's sold out. It's sold out in sizes 1X to 4X. So I'm like, oh, you guys never stocked the 1X to 4X, but you're making people think that you have plus sizes and that they sold out. And I understand, trust me, as a big girl shopping, we know not every brand is inclusive, okay? We get that. Of course, that like sucks for us. But the one thing the Kardashians have done has been make inclusive clothing brands, okay? So this just like, it's like freaking double whammy. Like, okay, well now you're not making the clothes in plus sizes. I would be fine with that if you were just honest with people. Maybe you're having budget cuts. Maybe your plus sizes didn't sell well, whatever the reason was. But to lie, like, I hate when brands do this. Like, they're trying to make themselves seem inclusive when they're not. Like,
and this is where it starts to feel personal. Because Kylie's entire brand identity, like the thing that made people care about her, was her taste. The King Kylie era existed because people genuinely looked to her for style inspiration. She built an audience on being someone who understood fashion, so when she has that kind of cultural capital and she spends it on a $300 belt and a $120 basic tee, that's not just bad business. That feels like a betrayal of everyone who ever looked at her for that. The comments were actually kind of heartbreaking. One person wrote something like, I love you and I love this collection, but in my house we can barely afford food. $120 for a t-shirt is not reality for most of us, and I think that comment cuts to something real, because Kylie has clearly lost the thread of who her customer actually is, unless the customer is exclusively wealthy LA kids. In which case, cool, but also, why does this brand need to exist?
okay, this is the last video I'm going to make about this Kai collection because I hate being a hater like this. Like, but this is this is like low-key the craziest part of it. Okay, so I made multiple videos about this Kai collection she just dropped, right? Tell me why she goes to the like Knicks game or something with Timothy. Love them, and don't get me wrong, she looks fucking stunning. Okay, she looks stunning. Tell me why she's wearing Isabel Marant studded jeans. Tell me why. Like, she just dropped a collection literally yesterday of studded jeans. And when this collection came out, I said, okay, they really, like, you know, it's giving Isabel Marant. That's the vibe. Like, I think most people caught that, you know, they very much look like that. They don't even really look like Kylie Jenner, but like maybe within the past couple months they do, you know, and this pair sold out and the belts sold out, which like shocking, but you know, good for her. Like, again, I'm not trying to be such a hater. She's wearing Isabel Marant jeans from 2013. Not the Kai jeans at the game. The day that you drop a collection
So I went and looked at the inventory after the launch dropped, and here's what I found. Pretty much the only sizes that sold out immediately were the plus sizes. The 1X, 2X, 3X, 4X. Nearly all of them listed as sold out within hours.
Studded jeans. Like, I genuinely, like, I am so perplexed by it. They're great jeans. She looks hot. I don't actively hate the Kai collection either. That's the thing. Like, I like Isabel Marant. I like studs. I like a jean moment. Like, it's cute. It's cute. But I just cannot fathom, like, why you like, I just don't understand it. Like,
now, Kai got a ton of press for including extended sizing, and that's great in theory, but people are now asking whether the brand actually stocked a meaningful quantity of those sizes, or whether they stocked a token number specifically to generate the positive press and then quietly let them go out of stock. This is actually a documented thing that happens in fashion. Brands will launch with plus sizes, stock maybe 20 units per size, watch them sell through in an hour, and then say, well, we tried and demand outpaced supply. It's a way to get credit for inclusion without actually committing to it. Now, I want to be fair. I don't have the inventory numbers. Nobody outside the brand does. But the pattern is suspicious enough that people are asking the question. And in a launch with this many red flags already, the benefit of the doubt is running low. Drop a comment and let me know if you think I'm being too harsh here. Because genuinely, I go back and forth on this one.
Our Born in LA collection for Kai launches tomorrow. So I wanted to show you some of my favorite pieces. The sunset studded low-rise denim. This is in our cloud wash. All of our washes are done in LA, all of our studs. Okay. I actually can't get over. It's so beautiful.
Okay, but we're only halfway through and I haven't even gotten to the part that actually made me want to make this video. Because the Kai stuff is messy. But there's another brand, and what happened to it is somehow even more baffling. So, Sprinter. Kylie launched Sprinter in 2024 as a ready-to-drink vodka soda, and from the jump, it felt like the brand equivalent of a shrug. The market was already absolutely saturated. The branding didn't feel distinctly Kylie. There were a few reviews when it launched, and then silence. Complete silence. No buzz, no word of mouth, nothing. 2 years later, Kylie starts posting TikToks that look like she's teasing a new electrolyte product. People are speculating. Is this a wellness brand? A hydration line? A pivot into the athletic space? Nope. It's Sprinter. Just rebranded. She took a vodka soda and turned it into electrolyte packets. That is a sentence I just said out loud. What is actually happening with Kylie's brands? I think the pattern is this. Every brand she launches starts with a concept that sounds like it came from a real place. And then, pretty quickly, the concept gets abandoned in favor of whatever is commercially safe or aesthetically on trend at that moment. The prices go up, the identity diffuses, and the audience, who showed up because of the original promise, starts to feel like they were pitched something that was never really going to be delivered. That's not bad luck. That's a repeating cycle. And we've now seen it with Kylie Swim, Kylie Skin, Kylie Baby, the original Kai concept, Sprinter, and now the Kai rebrand. The one thing I'm leaving unresolved, I actually don't know if Kylie knows this is happening. Like, genuinely, does she see the pattern? Because there's a version of this where she's fully aware and she doesn't care. And there's a version where she's surrounded by people who keep telling her everything is fine and she believes them. And those are very different problems with very different futures. And honestly, who was wrong here? Was it Kylie for losing the thread? Or was it us for expecting something different after Kylie Swim? Next video, I want to get into the Kardashian Jenner brand graveyard more broadly. Because Kylie is not the only one, and there is a specific brand that died so fast, so quietly that most people don't even remember it launched. And when I tell you who was behind it and what it was supposed to be, you're going to have questions. I'll see you there.